Thank you very much, Mr. Moulin, Director General of IRES, Your Excellency, Mr. Benabella, Minister of Habitat, Urban Development and City Policy, Lord Mayor of the City of Rabat, Mr. Benani, and many others of you would like to approach personally. But let me just mention a few more names. Mr. Adidi, the Director of INO, Mr. Matthijs Schreuder, the representative of the Embassy of the Netherlands, Professor Higano, President of the Regional Science Association International, ladies and gentlemen from all over the world, and also our friends from Morocco. This is a very important day, and on the occasion of this opening ceremony, I would like to express our sincere thanks to Mr. Moulin and IRES for having organized this meeting and for hosting this very important workshop. Thank you very much. The program announces this meeting as Le Nouveau, Monde, Urbain, the new urban world, which in 1 year time or so has become a rather fashionable term in the literature. In fact, it was an invention of Karima Kurtit, who also has roots in this country but is nowadays living in the Netherlands. And in a recent issue of European Planning Studies, which just came out last week, you find a whole series of contributions on the new urban world. And this meeting fits very well in that whole spirit of a thorough scientific and policy reflection, not only on urbanization issues nowadays, but also how to cope with them in the future. I would argue urban issues, we have been listening to great presentations on issues from Morocco. I would argue urban issues are not specifically important for Morocco, important as they are, but they are important to all over the world. And each country, in all continents of our world, developing, semi-developing, and the developed world, each country is faced with finding ways to accommodate an increasing number of people all over the world. Now, we have learned that Morocco, of course, is faced with quite a few interstate and important issues. And the major challenge for this country is, of course, to build up an urban policy which would fit in the vision and the view on Morocco as a modern economy. Morocco has largely left behind the traces from the past, keeping its culture, of course, but moving toward a modern nation and a modern economy. And that prompts, of course, all kinds of questions, including the fact that in an open economy, Morocco is not an island in a quiet ocean. It is embedded in international relationships, in international social, political, and economic, technological developments. And that also implies that urban development, of course, could be seen from the country itself. It, of course, ought to be done, but it's at the same time influenced by many developments outside of this country. That holds for technology, that holds for the digital world, and so on. So there's a whole range of important challenges which have to be faced by this country. In particular, the demography, not only the quantity, but also the qualitative shifts, the urban-rural divide, for instance, land use and infrastructure, including transport issues, housing and jobs, and finding a balance between them, especially in a country which does not have that many natural resources. So it means it's highly dependent also for its natural resources on other countries. And that all has to be seen in the overall perspective of a rapid economic development, where the major challenge will be how to make a transition from a traditional agricultural rural economy toward a modern surface economy, including tourism, but also high-tech developments and so on. Is it possible to make a sudden jump from a rural economy and an agricultural economy toward a surface economy, or would this country have to follow the normal sequence, agriculture, industry, surface sector, leading in the very end toward a knowledge economy? These are important challenges which have enormous implications also for policies, including urban and metropolitan policies, educational systems in this country. But that's not exclusive for this country, as I mentioned before, because these are issues which we find in many other countries. And we share, in fact, the same concerns as you have in Morocco. We share them with many other countries. And that's why this meeting is so important, because this is the platform for exchanging our experiences and trying to identify pathways toward a sustainable future in which the economy, the ecology, and social well-being would go hand in hand. Now, there are a few important trends, of course, which will be decisive for the span of control of any spatial urban and transport development.